G'day friends, I'm VBasic, Independent Stampin' Up Demonstrator Australia. So welcome to our 2023 World Card Making Day. But in this instance, we're only going to do the morning today and the morning tomorrow. Only because Stampin' Up have their event this afternoon. And we didn't want to interfere with anyone that is going to that event and spending the afternoon creating with Stampin' Up. So this year, as I said, it's over the two mornings. So myself and Sharon Dalton, I ended up with an allergy last month, and this is what I've got left over, this cough. So this year, Sharon Dalton and myself are bringing you a couple of quick make and takes, and hopefully some tips and tricks along the way, inspiration for you that we can all learn from. So how it works is each hour from 9 till 12 we'll have a project for you to watch along with, and after the projects or make and takes, an album will be created and you can upload your creations into that album. Now at the end of the week we will go through and place all the names for each album into a hat or a drawer and randomly draw a name from each album. So if you want to be included in that, make sure you have your creations uploaded to that appropriate album. If you are from overseas, you will get a PDF tutorial. If you're located in Australia, you will get product. Okay, so the day is all about having fun and just sharing, basically. Just share. Okay, if there's any questions, please ask, and either myself or Sharon or Tagus, and either one of us will try and answer it for you. Okie dokie, so I hope I've covered everything. I just want to say thank you again. I love doing this sort of thing, and I hope that you will find a little bit of inspiration. And just remember to, I'm sorry, just remember to, if you don't have the supplies that we're using, use what you have in your stash. Not everyone has what everyone has, if that makes sense, but yeah, just use what you have, and that's what it's all about. It's just using what you have in your stash and just playing along or creating. Okay, so for our first make and take, I'm going to be using the Heartfelt sorry, every time I start talking, the Heartfelt Hexagon bundle. And that's the stamp set, and then this is the punch that we're going to be playing with. Okie dokie. So my projects are very easy. I'm a simple card maker, I suppose you'd call it, but I do love layers. Okie dokie. Everyone has their own style, and I did try and steer away from my style, I suppose you'd call it, but I just kept coming back, so that's all I do now, just simple, easy projects. And that's not saying that I don't do the fun files, I do. So, okay, so we're going to start off, whoops, it's a bit humid here and overcast. I just thought it might have been sticking to everything. Okay. So we've got a Poppy Parade base card. We're using a couple of layers of basic white, and we've got a piece of the DSP from the Garden Walk 6x6 DSP pack. Excuse me. And which is from the new mini catalogue. So we're going to be playing with that. We've got a little bit of white twine from the Essentials Baker's Twine pack. And we're going to play with Pretty Peacock and Poppy Parade inks. Okie dokie. And the last thing we're going to be using is the Bloomin' Pearls, also from the mini catalogue. Okay, I don't know what colours they are, so we'll have to grab the mini and look for them. Hold on, we'll have a look. There they are. We've got Garden Green, Gold, Petal Pink and Pretty Peacock. So that'll be Garden Green, I'd say. Let's pull this out. Yeah, so that'll be Garden Green, that's Gold, Pretty Peacock and Petal Pink. And they do have a gold, I suppose, overlay or fleck through them. They're quite pretty actually, so I thought we'd play with those too. Okay. Oh, and they actually go with the paper anyhow, so. Okay, so now this card is one that I use to highlight our DSP. I love to chop my DSP different ways, and I don't know, it's a bit contagious, I think, to tell you the truth. So this is just a way of showing you how you can chop your DSP. Now I have found the secret of it is to only well, it doesn't have to be DSP. You can stamp a piece of cardstock too if you like, and just chop it up into different layers. I do that as well. But the secret I've found is to only leave a very narrow gap showing between each piece, which is probably about 1/8 or point, I think it's about 0.3 centimetres between each piece. Okay, so this is the piece we're going to be playing with, and we're going to grab our trimmer, and all we're going to do is randomly chop this into 2 pieces. Okay, not the same size. Now if you wanted to, you could chop those 2 pieces into 2 pieces again, which would give you 2 or 3 pieces. So in this instance, we're going to chop again, but we're going to go this way. So we'll chop here. 1. We're going to chop it into 3 pieces, eh? Now, I like to keep my pieces in order as I go. So we'll chop again. Now, I want to, I know, I think that will be right. Let's have a go anyhow. 1, 2, 3. So we've got 6 pieces. Now fingers crossed that this works. Then what I do is I will line all these up, keeping our pattern in order. Now we may have to, I know, yep, that looks okay. 1, 2, 3. Okie dokie, I think we're right. So let's crack on and stick our pieces down. Now, as I said, you can randomly stamp a piece of cardstock and then chop it to the way you want. Now, I've forgotten. This is where I get confused. That's it. Okay. That looks pretty good to me. If we make a mistake and it's not straight, I'll show you what to do. So fingers crossed, in this instance, it doesn't work out properly, eh? All you've got to do is remember to keep your pieces showing in between the gaps narrow, okay? At the same time, keeping your pattern correct. Now this would work the same way if you had stamped your piece of cardstock and chopped it, okay? Just take your time, don't rush it. And just like that. One piece done, one panel. Now, if you find that your DSP or your cardstock or whatever you're going to use is too wide, then what you're going to do is chop off from the outer edges. Don't chop from the middle or either side of these two panels. Chop from your outer side, top or bottom. If you chop from the middle, you're going to lose your pattern. Now, another way of doing this too is you could emboss your piece of cardstock and chop it up and do it that way if you wanted to. Or you could just have a plain piece of cardstock, chop it up, and then you could even emboss each piece with a different embossing folder. Actually, that'd look quite effective. You could even sponge colour over each piece if you wanted to. Different colours, that'd be nice actually. We might have to have a go at that. And wouldn't you know it, it's all worked out. Okay, what I was going to say is, if you find you've made a mistake and you don't like the way it looks or it's a little bit crooked, what I tend to do is just chop it back, the basic white, chop it right back to the end of your DSP all the way around, and then mount it onto another piece of basic white, just like that. So you're not going to know that you've chopped those pieces away, the outer pieces, okay? And you just mount it onto a piece that's slightly bigger. I hope I've explained that clear enough. So what we're going to do now is put this onto our base card, making sure it's open the right way. I'm very good at upside down and back to front, just like that. Okie dokie. So we'll put that aside. Actually, what we might do is bring in these two pieces. These are just a scrap piece of DSP that I've chopped into two pieces. And I just use them on my card, inside my card and the envelopes. So we'll just put this here, just like that. Sorry, I think my phone's about to go flat, so fingers crossed we'll have enough to finish this off. If not, we'll just start it again. So we'll just put this on the inside. Is that straight now? Whoops. So we're just going to put this on the inside of our card. Just like that. And what we're going to do is grab the foam mat and our image, and we're going to use this outline image here, and because it's a photopolymer stamp set, what I tend to do when I pull these off, sometimes they will go out of shape a little bit, so I just put them over the top of the image on the front of our stamp set, and I just pick it up from there. That way you know it's going to be in the right shape. So we're going to stamp this onto here with, what will we do it on? I think we might do Poppy Parade, eh? So just tap, tap, tap. Now this stamp set, I think it's an online exclusive. Don't quote me on that, but it's not in the catalogues, so I'm sure it's an online exclusive that's been released. And then for our, excuse me, then for our sentiment, I'm using this one, sending you lots of loves and hugs. And we're going to stamp that in, and I've done that to, where's our chamois? I've done that a little bit too hard. I keep forgetting my Pretty Peacock's Juicy Lucy. We'll start that again, eh? So we just tap, tap, tap. We won't even tap, we just touch. And just bear with me. This will be out of, there you go. The G's not as good as what I'd like, but that's my fault, but it'll do. And then we're going to grab our hexagon punch. This is nice shape, this, I love it. I've got lots of ideas in my head for this, but it's just finding the time. That's done. We'll pop this up. Sometimes I think we need more than two hands to try and get all our ideas onto paper or card in our case. There you are, so we'll just do that, and we might just pop it, let's pop it smack bang in the middle, eh? And just press down gently. We'll tie our little bow. We might do a double, eh? Let's do a double. So all I do is just double it over. Everyone does it a little bit different, but I just double my twine over or ribbon. And just do it as normal. Once I've done that, I just want a little one. We don't want it to overtake. Once I've done that, I grab our scissors, just chop that off and chop that off. Grab a little mini glue dot. And this is a new roll. With the mini glue dots, when I'm using twine, I like to roll them over in half so that you don't see it from the back. Okay, and we're just going to stick that right there. And we're going to finish it off with a couple of the Bloomin' Pearls, and we might use pink, petal pink, eh? Put one there, put a little one right smack bang there, and we'll put a big one over here. And that is our card for our first make and take. Easy peasy, but one that I hope you'll be able to create. I know a couple of people have asked how to chop the DSP like this, so I hope this has explained it a little bit. The secret I find is to leave a narrow space between your pieces of DSP or cardstock. So that's our card, but I'm going to show you a couple of others that I've done. That's what I've taken, this one off this one. This was one I shared for our Craft Along With Us that goes out each Saturday in our newsletter. So that's that one. That's using the All About Autumn DSP. And then this is one that Robbie and I have done for Across the Waves. I think it was about August for males. So I've just grabbed a deep piece of DSP, randomly chopped it into 2 pieces. So that's just a couple of ways of how to do your DSP. Or as I said, your cardstock, stamp it and then chop it. Okay, so I hope that's clear enough, and I look forward to seeing your creations. Okay, thanks. See ya. See you soon. All right.